What's up, YouTube? Today I'm going to show you how I make garlic powder. If you've never made your own homemade garlic powder, you don't know what you're missing. The flavor doesn't even compare to that stuff you buy in the stores. The things you're going to need to make your own garlic powder are a dehydrator, and today I'll be using the herb screens, but you could also just use the fruit leather trays. You're also going to need a coffee grinder. Now, before I got this coffee grinder, I used my little mini chopper. It did an okay job, but it didn't get it as fine as I would like. But if that's all you have, go ahead and use it. I'll also be using my Vidalia Chop Wizard here with the mincing blade. Now, if you don't have this, of course, you can just use a knife and cutting board. But I suggest finding one of these. I got this one at the Goodwill for $1.99, and it's actually the second one I found at the Goodwill. The first one I broke trying to chop up sweet potatoes for canning. But this little gadget makes it so fast and easy, for dehydrating especially, and for canning. I made like 4 cases of salsa this fall to split with my buddy, and this thing was a time saver. You're also going to need some garlic. Now I have about 1.5 pounds here, which I think is only going to fill up 4 of my trays, and I went ahead and splurged a little bit and got the peeled kind in the bag. Now it is more expensive than just buying the bulk head of garlic, but I really didn't feel like smelling like garlic for a week. Each of these bags I got at Walmart, and I believe they were about $3.50 a bag. So if you'd like to save some money, and you don't mind smelling like garlic, just go ahead and get the heads of garlic. Now I'll get this stuff all cleaned up and show you how easy it is to make your own homemade garlic powder. Let's get started. The first thing that I'm going to do is go ahead and mince up all this garlic. I have 1 bag here in this bowl, so I'm going to put 1 bag per tray here. And I'm going to go ahead and leave the little butt ends on here. Since I am going to run them through the coffee grinder, you're not even going to notice this. But if you're dehydrating this for minced garlic, I'd go ahead and cut the little butts off. Now the great thing about this Vidalia Chop Wizard is that you're going to get uniform pieces. When you're dehydrating, you want all your pieces to be the same size. That way they dry evenly. So I'm just going to take a handful here. I'm going to stick them on my Chop Wizard and push it down. Just like that. Now, like I said, you can go ahead and cut these all by hand, but look how fast and easy this is. So that's 1 bag down, and that gave me about 1.25 cups of garlic. So next I'm just going to spread it on my tray here, and I just like to take a cup here to cover up the hole so nothing falls through, and spread it out on the tray. Now you just want to spread it out to an even layer. Break up any pieces that are kind of sticking together. Just like that. Now you just want to grab your other tray here and get chopping the next bag. Alright guys, so I got 4 trays of my minced garlic here. Now my dehydrator here has 5 trays, so in the future I'll make sure to get 5 bags of this garlic. I went ahead and put my empty 5th tray down here at the bottom, and that just helps with the air circulation. I don't like to do anything less than 4 trays if I'm going to dehydrate something. I just think it's a waste of energy. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put my lid on my dehydrator. I'm going to set it for fruits and vegetables, which is 135 degrees. And I'm going to let this go for about 8 to 12 hours. Every couple hours I'll come back and rotate the trays just to make sure it's evenly dehydrating. And when you're dehydrating stuff that's smelly, like onions and garlic, I like to go ahead and stick this out in my garage. I don't want my whole house smelling like garlic. Now after that 8 to 12 hours, I'm going to check these. You want these to be really dry for making this powder. There's not going to be any anti-caking agencies like the stuff you get in the store in this, so it does tend to clump up a little. And if there's any moisture in there, it makes it 1,000 times worse. It's still usable, but you just have to sit there and scrape at it with a fork to get any loose powder. Now you can do the exact same process with onions, and it makes an awesome onion powder. So I'll show you what to do after 8 to 12 hours. Alright guys, so it's the next morning here. I had these on there for about 18 to 20 hours. It was raining here yesterday, and since these were in the garage, it took a little bit longer. And like I said, you want these really dry. If you're going to dehydrate this just as minced garlic, you probably don't want it on there that long, but like I said, since we're making a powder out of this, you want these as dry as possible. These are still warm. So now I'm just going to dump these garlic pieces onto this parchment paper and let it cool down. If it does happen to stick, the great thing about these trays is you just have to give it a little bend and it comes right off. Alright guys, so this is my 4 trays of garlic, so I'm just going to spread it out evenly as possible in a thin layer. Just going to sit here and break up any chunks. Remove any skin if you find it. And I'm just going to let this set here for a couple hours to get nice and cool and make sure it's really good and dry. Alright guys, it's been about an hour now. I got my workout in and I'm feeling pretty swole. The next thing we're going to do is go ahead and grind this up in our coffee grinder. So I'm just going to go ahead and fill up my grinder, and I'll have to do this in a few batches. Now you just want to put your lid on your grinder and start grinding. And I like to shake the grinder when I'm grinding it. That way all the big chunks will get down to the bottom. When you think that it's ground up enough, you want to just let it settle for a while, because breathing in that garlic dust is not fun. I actually made some chili powder with ghost peppers this fall, and I pulled that lid right off there and inhaled that stuff, and I was burning. So just let it settle. Next, I'm just going to dump it in this bowl that I have a wire sieve in. This will catch any of the big chunks, let the powder fall through, and then you can just regrind the bigger chunks. Now you just want to fill up your coffee grinder again until all this garlic is ground up. Alright guys, so I have my garlic powder all ground up here, and that 1.5 pounds of garlic made about 3 cups of garlic powder. So the next thing I'm going to do is fill up my jars. I like to use a funnel when doing this, but if you're careful you could probably just spoon it in. So using a measuring cup here, I'm just going to go ahead and fill this jar. Now you might have to give it a little shake to get it going. Alright guys, I got all my garlic powder here in the jars, and I lied. I only got about 2 cups. So the next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and just label my jars here. And now I have 2 cups of the most delicious garlic powder that you'll ever have. So this amount here will probably last me a good year. And like I said, it tastes way better than any of that stuff at the grocery stores that you don't even know how long it's been sitting there. I hope you give this video a try. If you like this video and want to see more of my videos, go down below and hit the big red subscribe button and give this video a big thumbs up. If you have a question about this video or any of my other videos, or would like to leave a suggestion for a future upcoming video, leave me a comment. Feel free to share this video across your social medias. And as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.